Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you all are fine and taking proper precautions at home. Welcome back once again to your online English classes. Once again, I'm here to teach you all from your main book Hive, and today I will be teaching you another poetry from your book, that is poetry number 3, Rain on the Roof. Alright, written by Coach Skinny. So before starting anything, let me tell you about Coach Skinny. He was an American lawyer, politician, journalist and poet who wrote Rain on the Roof. Alright, he was born on 24th November 1826 at Penn Yan in New York, and he died on 25th January in 1904. Total he had a lifespan of 77 years. That's all you should know about him. Let's move ahead. Let me give you the introduction to the lesson. From the title of the poetry, Students Rain on the Roof, we can make out that the poetry is about the rain. Okay, the poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain, and the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his house brings back sweet memories of the past. Alright, this is the introduction of the poem. Let me give you the detailed summary explanation for a better understanding. Students, this poetry, Rain on the Roof, talks about the poet's varied reactions, okay, to the sound of raindrops that are falling on the roof of his house. Okay, he says that the raindrops at night are like tears shed by the sad, dark night. Okay, he loves to lie in bed and hear rain falling on the roof of his room because it gets back sweet memories of the past. Okay, he says that the sound of raindrops helps him fall asleep and gives him sweet memories, sweet dreams. He has memories of his loving mother who would put them to sleep also. Alright, so all these things are giving him peace. Now students, the idea behind the poetry is clear to you. Okay, so now let me explain you the poetry line by line for a better understanding. So here we go. See students, stanza number 1, it's written, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed, and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Students, let's check out the difficult words used here. Humid word I could see here. Its meaning is something which is full of moisture, okay? And shadows refers to the moisture-laden clouds which cast a shadow on the earth. Got it? Hover meaning is to move around something. Melancholy meaning is sad. Bliss is happiness. And patter meaning is sound of raindrops that are falling on the roof. Is it clear? Cottage, students, word is used, its meaning is chamber, means the bedroom over here. So here students, the poet is saying that when the humid shadows hover, here humid shadows refer to dark clouds which are full of water. Okay, and the poet is saying that when the sky is full of these clouds which are moisture laden, are full of water and are about to bring rain. Got it? And when such clouds hover around in the sky over all the starry spheres refers to the sky at night time, got it, which is full of stars. And at that time, huge clouds which are full of moisture move around in the sky. Okay, and the sad darkness of the night is wiped off by the raindrops, which seems like tears falling from the sky. Okay, here the poet is comparing raindrops to tears, and he says that the dark sky, which seems to be very sad, it appears as if it is crying. Okay, and the raindrops are the tears shed by it. He adds that it is just like a blessing that to lie on the bed in his room. Cottage chamber means here bedroom. Got it? And he listens to the sound made by raindrops falling on the roof. Hope till here it's clear to you. Let's move on to the second stanza. It's written, every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy beings start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Let's check out the difficult word meanings first. Students, tinkle meaning is short light ringing sound, okay? Shingles meaning is rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. They are called shingles. Echo, everyone must be knowing, repeated sound, that's called echo. Woof meaning is web, that is the thread that is woven across the loom, that's called woof. Patter meaning is sound of raindrops falling on the roof. Okay, busy being, students, here refers to human beings, and here the poet is referring to himself. So let me tell you what here actually poet is expressing. The poet is expressing his feelings. When he hears the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his house, he says that every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. Whenever he hears rain falling on the rooftop, the sound repeats. Okay, the sound repeats in his heart and his dreams also. He has many different fanciful imagination, students. He has that the sound of the rain falling on the rooftop creates many new different dreams in his mind. Got it? He recollects many memories of the past which come back into his mind as dreams. So he says that as he listens to the patter of the rain upon the roof, he has many new dreams in his mind, and the memories of the past come back in the form of dreams. Hope till here it's clear to you. Let's move on to the next stanza. It's written, now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers, ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Students, let's check out the difficult words used here. Students, ear word it is used here. It's an old poetic word used for before. Okay, dawn meaning is daybreak, and list meaning is old poetic word again for listen. Earlier only list is used, that is an old poetic word for listen. Okay, refrain word is used, students. I could see here it's a repeated part of a song or a poem. Alright, that's called refrain. Here students refers to the sound of rain. Here refrain is referring to hear the sound of rain. So students, here the poet introduces his mother. He says that he is dreaming of his mother. Okay, as he had told in the previous stanza that rain brings memories of the past. Right, so it is the memory of his mother who is no longer alive. In the past, she used to love him a lot, she used to consider him a darling, and she would let him sleep till daybreak and have sweet dreams. The poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him as he listens to the song made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his room. So the sound of the rain makes him correlate his past with his present. Got it? And that is why, this is the only reason that the poet is moved by the sound of the raindrops on the shingles of his room. Got it? And whenever he hears this sound, it brings back memories of the past and he is reminded of his mother. Hope this poetry is clear to all of you. This is all there in the poetry. Hope it's clear to you. Now let's move ahead for the poetic devices, and I'll be telling you what all literary devices have been used in this poetry. Okay? Students, as you very well know, that poetic devices are used to beautify the poetry, right? Poets use it to make the poetry more fascinating. So here the very first one is rhyming scheme. So all you are now aware about it, that what for rhyming scheme is used. It is used to bring the musical effect in the poetry. Alright, to bring some rhythm in the poetry. So here the rhyming scheme of the poetry is A, B, C, B, D, E and F, E. And how we detect it? We have to see the last word of the every line. See, the very first word is here hover. The end word of the first line is hover. Next is spheres. So hover is not rhyming with spheres. So we will mark hover A and we will mark spheres B. Okay, so now like this it is AB. See, darkness. Darkness is also not rhyming with any of them. So we will mark it C. See, tears. Students, tears is rhyming with spheres. So we will mark it B. Hope till here it's clear to you. Then students, see the next word, it is pillow. So it is not at all rhyming with anyone. So we will mark it D. The next word is your bed. It is also not rhyming with anyone. So we will mark it E. Then see next word patter. It is also not rhyming with anyone, so we will mark it F. And then see overhead. This overhead is rhyming with bed, so we will mark it E. So like this your rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Hope now it's very clear to all of you. Like this only it is followed in the whole poetry. Okay. Students, now see the stanza number 1. Here the poetic device I could see here is alliteration. What is alliteration? The repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words, right? So see this humid hover. Here H sound is repeating, right? Starry spheres. Here S sound is repeating. And press pillow. P sound is repeating. Lie listening. I sound is repeating. So that is why the poetic device alliteration is used. Alright. Next students, next check out. Next poetic device I could see here is onomatopoeia. Students, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect in auditory imagery, that's called onomatopoeia. Whenever the poets use it to use any of the sound words to create a dramatic effect, any auditory imagery, that's called onomatopoeia. So here students, patter. Patter is the use of sound word here, and it is a sound that is made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop. That is why the poetic device onomatopoeia has been used. Alright, hope it's clear to you. Students, next poetic device is personification. What is personification? When we treat a non-living thing as a living being, alright, that's called personification. So students, here in stanza number 1, darkness has been personified when he says that it is sad. Okay, how can a darkness be sad? So that is why personification is there. We are personifying darkness. Hope it's clear to you. Students, next poetic device is transferred epithet. The use of an adjective with a noun. Clear? Please understand it carefully. The use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. See here in melancholy darkness. The darkness is not melancholy. Darkness is not sad. But it refers to the sad people. That is why the poetic device transferred epithet is used. Hope it's clear to you. Students, now see the stanza 2. Here the poetic device is again alliteration. I've just now told you the repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words. So here busy being, you could see B sound is repeating. There thread, here TH sound is repeating. Rain, roof, R sound is repeating. Alright. Onomatopoeia is also there. Alright, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. Onomatopoeia is there. You can see the word tinkle and patter. Right, these are the sounds made by the raindrop. That is why onomatopoeia is there. Again, personification is there. Recollection is personified, students, when he says that they weave dreams. Alright, next transferred epithet is also there. The use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. Here, student, dreamy fancies. It does not mean that the fancies are dreamy, but it refers to the people who have dreams. Got it? Hope it's clear to you. See stanza number 3. Again, alliteration is there. The same thing, repetition of consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words. So you could see memory, my mother. Here M sound is prominent. Got it? Darling dreamers. D sound is repeating. That is why alliteration is there. Next, onomatopoeia again. Again, students use of sound word is here to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. You could see patter word is used. That is sound of raindrops falling on the shingles of the roof. That is why onomatopoeia is used. These were all the poetic devices that were used in the poetry for the poet. So hope it's clear to everyone, all the literary devices, students. So hope now you don't have got any queries. If still you have got any queries, then you can ask me anytime personally. All right, please feel free to contact. That's all from my side. Hope you all would have understood it very, very well. Now let's move on to question and answers. We will be discussing question answers also. Okay, so students, here your very first question is, what do the following phrases mean to you? Discuss. All right, the very first one is humid shadows. So beta, what is humid shadows? It refers to the dark clouds, okay, which are full of water. Hope it's clear to you. Second one is starry spheres. अभी starry spheres क्या होता है? Starry spheres refers to the sky at night, which is full of stars. I have told you in the poetry also. Next, they are asking about water bliss. Water bliss, what is the meaning of that? Bliss means a blessing. Okay, hope it's clear to you. Next, it's fourth point, 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being starred. What is the meaning of this? So students, 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being starred means that people start having varied sweet dreams, different sweet dreams. Hope it's clear to you. Fifth point in the very first question is 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. Students, 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof means that when people are asleep, the memories of the past come back into their mind in the form of dreams. Alright, hope the very first question is clear to you. Let's move on to question number 2. They are asking, what does a poet like to do when it rains? So students, when it rains, the poet likes to lay in bed and hear the rain falling on the roof of his room. Hope the answer is clear to you. Next question is, what is a single major memory that comes to the poet who are the darling dreamers he refers to? So students, the poet has memories of his beloved mother. Okay, he loves his mother a lot. That is why he was having memory of his mother. When he was a child, she would put him and his siblings to bed and allowed them to sleep till late. They had sweet dreams in their sleep, and darling dreamers, students, here refers to the poet and his siblings when they were children. Got it? And had sweet dreams also. They were loved by their mother, and so were her darlings. Hope that is clear to you. Next, it is the question here is the poet now a child? Is his mother still alive? No, now the poet is not a child. Obviously, he is an adult and his mother is not alive anymore. That is why he is reminding his mother. He is recalling the memories of the past. Hope till here it's clear to all of you. Students, let's check out second part. In this, the question is, when you were a young child, did your mother tuck you in as a poet did? So this question, obviously, you have to answer in your own words how it happened with you. Next question is, do you like rain? So obviously it is your answer. You have to give answer. What do you do when it rains steadily or heavily as described in the poem? So you have to give answer in your own words. Question 3 is, does everybody have a cozy bed to lie in when it rains? Again, you have to answer it in your own words. Do you have cozy bed when it rains and you lie there? Look around you and describe how different kinds of people or animals spend time, seek shelter, etc. during rain. So you have to describe these questions in your own way. All right, you have to give answers in your own words based upon your understanding, your observation. All right, hope the chapter is clear to you, everything is clear to you. Even we have discussed question answers. If still students you have got any queries, you can contact me personally as well. All right, bye bye, take care, study well, take proper precautions, stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Bye bye, take care.